My son called me, and he goes, Dad, there's been an accident. And I was like, all right, are you okay? I don't care about the car. Are you fine? And he goes, not a car accident. And I was like, you need to start with that. And I go, what kind of accident? And he goes, bidet. He's like, I need you to call me back in 5 minutes so I can make some coffee to really enjoy this story. So then he calls me back, and I go, you gotta tell me what happened. He goes, well, I was on my way to work. I thought I had to pass gas, and then water went everywhere. And I was like, hey, Quentin Tarantino, can you start at the beginning of this story, please? How do I already know the end of this story? This sucks. And he goes, yeah, right, okay, right, yeah, right. Right. So I was going to the bathroom, and I turned the bidet on. I think I turned it up too high. And I was like, you think you did? There was water in your anal cavity, and from that, you have deduced that you turned it on too high. And has there ever been a better time to use the word deduce than in a bidet story? It is literally what you're doing. I don't understand how water gets into an asshole. I have an asshole, and it's like a seal. Not like, not like that. It closes. Right? Like no docking at the space station. I do not whistle when I skydive. I have 10 more of these if I need them. Is everyone on board? Okay, I just want to make sure. So I go, then what happened? And he was like, well, I told you. I thought I had to pass gas. And then water came out everywhere. And I was like, did it ruin your car? And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean, what do I mean? You had poop water everywhere. He goes, it wasn't even that bad. And I was like, yeah. Have you ever heard a kid say something that's your child and you just go, oh yeah, I failed? I don't know how he believed that this water that came from his asshole did not ruin his car. That's so crazy to me. And then he goes, I'm just so embarrassed about everything. And that's when I turned dad. I was like, well, you shouldn't be. It's actually pretty impressive. I don't know anybody else that could absorb water into their anus. Sounds like the origin story for a superhero. Right? Just hanging out with the X-Men. Who are you? I'm the syringe. Just walks into a flooding village. I got it. Houses start to reappear as the water goes down. What are you gonna do with all that water, syringe? There's a forest fire in Nevada. Just takes off. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Somebody asked me one time, they said, hey man, if you had a time machine, what would you use it for? And I said, I'd go back to when Chernobyl happened. And I'd get out and I'd take a deep breath. And then I'd get back into my time machine, I'd come back to right now so that COVID and any future variants could suck all 3 of my dicks. Okay. I'm not milking your laughter, it's just here's what happened one time. I told that story, thought it was done. Started the next story, and as soon as I did, a man yelled out, I don't get it! And it scared the shit out of me. So now, when I'm done with that story, I just pause, see if there are questions. And there have been. One time a grown man said, were all 3 dicks the same size? It's like, of course not. When Chernobyl melted down, it was in the Soviet Union, so I could put one dick into a bigger dick and then into a bigger dick. They were nesting dicks, or matryoshkaks, if you will. If you don't get a joke, don't yell at the person telling you. You should call your parents and be like, hey, you should have taught me more stuff. I looked like a real asshole at the comedy show last night. Because I write my jokes till I get them. And then I move on. That's how I do it, right? I'm not in my hotel room like, oh, that'd be pretty funny. Well, what if there's a dipshit there? I better keep going. What if somebody doesn't know what nuclear fallout could do to a body? I should probably say nuclear to that guy, because that's for sure how he says it. Oh, that's right. I'm a catty bitch. That's right. You know what's fun about doing that joke in Madison is you can tell who lives in Madison and who drove in. That's a fun one. I like that a lot. Because you're all laughing up to the end, and then some of you go, I like that part, and the other goes, I don't know about it. That's all right. Oh, my God. So then this guy, we weren't even done yet. He comes up to me at the meet and greet line, and he goes, just so you know, that Chernobyl thing, super confusing. You should tell people you got the 3 dicks from the vaccine, because that could be a side effect. And I was like, it sure could not have. If we could have gotten 3 dicks from the vaccine, there would have been a line of pickup trucks, 50 states long, nutsacks on the back of all of them, just Tokyo drifting into parking spots. I'm here for my shot and my dicks. Just out of curiosity, what did everybody think about the vaccine? Relax. I don't care about your answer. It's just so fun to ask that question, because immediately, before I'm even done asking, you can see somebody go, no! Why would you do that? We just stopped arguing. God damn you. It's very fun. I don't care what you thought about the vaccine, and you don't have to care what I thought. That's what makes America great. But I think we can all agree that the vaccination card, huge swing and a miss. Has there ever been a document less official than the vaccination card? What were we doing? The lady that gave me my vaccination, her name was Cindy, C-Y-N-D-I. And she dotted the I with a heart. Just like they teach you in vaccine school. I just couldn't believe it. It's just so silly. When comedy started back up after lockdown, comedy clubs would call you and they'd go, hey, do you want us to check vaccine cards for people getting into your show? And I'd always go, no, you don't have to. They're like, how come? It's because I don't know who has the vaccine, but I do know who has access to an index card and a printer. And that's just every single person. So I just don't care. If you get pulled over in your car, you have to have a driver's license, proof of insurance, and you have to be able to prove it's your vehicle. If someone was like, hey, do you have the vaccine? You're like, yeah, here's this piece of paper that's not even laminated. Sorry, it's wet, I just went swimming. Just kidding, if you can keep a secret, I'm the syringe. I got the vaccine at Walgreens. I walked in, I said, hey, do you guys have the vaccine? And the pharmacist leaned back and goes, anybody here know how to give the vaccine? And Cindy goes, I'll try. So I did get COVID. But I got it late, man. I got so late in the game, I was talking so much shit to everybody. My friends would call me like, what are you doing tonight? It's like, oh, just hanging out, waiting for scientists to come get my blood because it's perfect. I had been around so many people that had COVID. I had been to Texas. I had been to Florida, where I believe it started. I was around a lot of friends that had it. My daughter had it very badly. She had a 103 temp, and I let her sit by me because they were like, she's supposed to go to her room to quarantine. It's like, then what do I do? Just check every 15 minutes if she's alive, or how do I do that? The silly system we created. And then I went down to Dallas, Texas, July 29th. I was on stage, and it was hot. And this man in the front row, he coughed, and he goes, I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, you don't have to apologize, I can't get it. There was a fan on stage keeping me cool. So I moved that right in front of him. And I said, hey dude, if you have to cough, cough into this. And he did, and it would come up to me, and I'd suck it in like John Coffey from Green Mile, just... And then 3 days later, I was like, what do 2 lines mean on my test? Dude, you should have seen how fast these 2 lines appeared on the test. I put 1 drop of that little spittle stuff in the hole, and it just went boing. And my daughter was like, how much COVID do you have? And I was like, I think I have the rest of it. Everybody's safe. I have the rest. But I'm glad that we came out of it. I thought we were gonna have to wear masks on airplanes for the rest of my life, and that would have been pretty fucking miserable. Now it's a choice, and I still wear it sometimes. It's not a political statement, but I sleep with my mouth open when I fly. Pre-pandemic, I woke up every flight just like, wide open. And I don't need some dirty-handed asshole walking back from the bathroom just fish hooking me on the way by. It's like, get up, dude, you missed snacks. Wake up. Look at how wide open his mouth is. Look at this shit. I'm not touching anything. This is the easiest game of Operation I've ever played in my life. Is that your uvula? Dude, I'm touching your uvula. How are you not up? They got little bags of goldfish. I think you're gonna like them. I mean, listen, I don't need that shit. I mask it up. I mask it up. That is one thing I'm gonna miss about all of it, are mask arguments in public. They were so fun, because I wasn't doing comedy for a long time, so I wasn't laughing as much. And then I'd go to a grocery store, and you'd hear it start. It looks like a diaper on your face. And then you'd hear, and I go, I better stick around and see what happens. This is gonna be amazing. The greatest one I ever saw, I was in one of these fancy restaurants where, you have to wear a mask when you walk in, but you can take it off after you sit down. Because everybody knows COVID has to enter your mouth and your asshole at the exact same time. That's science. I'm not gonna argue with you about that. That is straight science. I do my own research, please trust me. One goes in your mouth, one goes in your asshole, they meet in the lungs, high five, that's how it starts. So I saw this guy, he walked in, had a mask on, of course, because look. See what's happening? My asshole's fully exposed. And you might think, whoa, you have pants on. Are they N95 pants? You know what kind of carburetor I'm rocking on these pants? So he walks in, sits down, takes his mask off, boom, everybody's happy. Then, during his meal, he gets up, walks to the bathroom, no mask. It was awesome, you could tell it happened a lot in that restaurant, because the manager just goes, gah. And he slowly walks over to the guy, like snuffle up, because he's like, hey man, can you please put your mask on? And the man turned to him and he goes, I'm not gonna put a mask on! Go to the bathroom! That's when I spit my food out and started laughing. I wasn't trying to be gross, but one time I started laughing with food in my mouth and I almost choked to death. So now I spit my food out, grab a napkin, wrap it around my finger, take a hot lap all the way around. Make sure there's not a hitchhiker that could bring me down if I inhale too intensely. When I feel safe to move forward, I start laughing. And I start laughing hard, especially at absurdity. And is there anything more absurd than not wanting to wear a mask into the one place we should have been wearing masks all along? The bathroom. What, that's the hill you're gonna die on? I'm an American and I will smell another man's shit. Just kick the door down. What do you got for me, gentlemen? Come on now. Is that yesterday's dinner and a urinal cake? Oh, hell yes, brother. Hell yes. Somebody in here needs more water. That is tart. You gotta start your day with 12 ounces, dude. Came here to eat and I'm teaching, shit. Tried to better myself the last couple of years, tried learning Spanish. I had a 251-day streak on Duolingo. Now, thank you. If you don't know what Duolingo is, it is an app where you can sort of learn other languages. You will be comfortable reading it, but if somebody that speaks that language natively talks to you, you're gonna have a full fucking panic attack. Just like, it's too fast! Slow down, there's no turtle button on a person. What's happening? So I had a 251-day streak, then my phone glitched, lost my streak, and I was losing my mind. I started to hate everything Spanish and everyone that speaks it. I told you, I'm a catty bitch. We talked about this. I was up in my room freaking out. I was like, I had a 251-day streak. This goddamn phone ruined it. And my daughter was like, everything okay up there, Spaz? I was like, I was trying to be a better person, and it made me racist. This is ridiculous. I don't get it. My daughter's like, I know you're kidding, but can you never say that out loud again, please? She is so worried that I'm gonna get canceled because of my dumb mouth. And I try to explain to her, no one's ever been canceled, right? They just shift your fan base. You're still gonna have an audience, might not be the one you want, but you're gonna have one. People are gonna show up. Everyone said Louis C.K. was gonna be canceled for sure, and he's out around America selling out theaters, and some people don't go, but those seats are being replaced by people that jerk off without asking or whatever. Right? And now he can sell tummy bibs at the merch table, and he's like, you thought you ruined him, and you made him richer. Because that's his new audience. They're like, who's playing? Oh my God. Oh God. I need to tell you, I've never run while masturbating. So I don't know how you would do it. But I have to imagine you'd kick your feet out, right? I mean, you can't run straight up. That's dangerous. That's like running with scissors. You gotta have a wide base. Get it out there in case you'd stumble. Doesn't matter. I suppose we can keep going without having to figure that out. I could tell you I don't like people that speak Spanish. That's not true, but I could say it, and a lot of you wouldn't come back, and by the way, good for you. But there would still be a line next time I was in Madison, waiting to get in, just people going, can't wait to hear these Mexican jokes. Be the same amount of people in here, just less sleeves. This is my favorite part of the night. Because before, I was talking about how dumb the vaccination card was. I was talking about how dumb it was to have to wear a mask until you sat down. Some of you got a little more comfortable, and you're like, all right, he's on our side. And then I said sleeves, and you were like, wait, what? I am politically ambiguous on stage for a reason. And that reason is, some of you are fucking nightmares. And I don't want to deal with it. I think we're far enough along in the show where I can tell you, I'm on the left, the line is right here. This is where I like to stand. I stand on the left because I care about others. I think kids should get, I think kids should get free lunches at school. I also think that school should start at 10 so they can sleep in, and it should go until 5 so they can also have dinner. That is an idea that my brain came up with. What keeps me closer to the line is that my brain also thinks if you're a teenager and you put your hand on a teacher with intent to harm them, that teacher should be able to beat the shit out of you in front of everyone. So, here I am. They don't want me way down there, and they don't want me way down there. So I just talk to people around me. I'm like, how are you guys doing? Good? All right, cool. Yeah, no, we got some great ideas. And I even talk across the line. I'll go, hey, we got some great ideas, right? Yeah, this is pretty good. Good stuff. Yeah, you can hear them? Yeah, it's bitchy over there, I know. How about what do you got going on way down there? I'm like, you didn't even want to know, man. They think you eat babies. And I try to explain to them, how would I have time to eat babies when I'm busy voting more than once? Does that make sense to anybody? It's the truth. I voted for Biden, but it's because I thought he'd be dead by now. I want to be clear. I don't wish death on anyone, but he didn't look great. Biden looks like a character in a video game and somebody dropped the controller, right? He's just like... But I also could not vote for bat-dat-dat, bat-dat-dat-dat-dat. How the fuck do you ruin Home Alone 2, bitch? For real. That is inexcusable. But that's what we've done in America. Those are the choices we've given ourselves. Two men that have outlived their boners by 30 years. And we're like, yeah, they'll make great decisions. They're probably happy. We're so dumb. And we're so gross. We've done it. We're the dumbest and the grossest. Congrats, you guys. The pandemic didn't really change me other than I look at things before I touch them now. I didn't even do that before. I would just put my hand down and drag it like a toddler while looking up, just like, that was rough and then it was smooth. I bet that part was gum. I mean, ridiculous. So now I look before I touch and I run and I go, oh, that's gum, and I keep going. We are gross. Hotel rooms are disgusting. Because you know what goes on in hotel rooms? It's all the shit you don't want to do at your own house. Honey, I forgot the vibrator. Hand me the phone. There's the Madison I was hoping for. Some of you make sure to take a deeper breath next time so your opinion that doesn't matter makes it all the way up here. Listen to me for a second. You bought your ticket. Laugh at whatever you want to laugh at and do not laugh at whatever you don't want to laugh at. But don't sit out there and fold your arms and tilt your head and look at me like phones don't get shoved in pussies in hotel rooms. Because listen, it only takes one for that story to be right. And I am not saying anyone in here has ever even considered it, but out there in the wild, of course, there's a prom season every single year. No, you don't get to have a problem with that because we ruin kids. Adults did. We ruin children by giving them unrealistic rules and expectations for sex, so they have to experiment wildly. I promise this has happened. You can't put your penis in my vagina because I'm Christian, but grab the phone. Yes, I'm serious. It says in the Bible that there's a Bible in the drawer, grab the Bible. What are we doing to our children? You think you might get to live in the clouds one day so your daughter has to take it in her shit cutter till she's married? Well, grow up and raise your fucking family, please. And I feel like I need to be clear about something right now. Even if it seems like it, I'm not shitting on faith. I'm really not. I just think rules that are over 2,000 years old are the dumbest. And I think we should get a rewrite. I do. I think we should get a rewrite, and I know some people don't agree with that because it's like, well, you can't rewrite a religious script, Chad. But I know you can, because Mormons have only been letting black people into heaven since I've been alive. That's true. That's fucked up. The Mormons used one too many M's when they spelled, doesn't matter. I was gonna try to get you, and then I realized I had paper when I figured that one out, so it wasn't fair to you guys. 4 of you are like, oh, moron. All right, that's fine. Yeah, that was a shit move on my part. I think we are disgusting. You ever use a bowling ball from a bowling alley? I think that's one of the grossest things we do as people. You walk into a bowling alley on purpose, and you put 3 fingers from your best hand. If you use those 3, you're gonna have to figure out how to do stuff with your other non-dominant hand. Like, I'm right-handed. If I lose these 3, I'm gonna be able to type cascade just fine. But cascading, I'm gonna have to go tic-tac, tic-tac, tic-tac. I love rock and roll, but I suck at typing. It's gonna be horrible. And I don't even know what's in the holes. I mean, what is it, like a mystery sauce from the early 1900s? Because here's why I say that. You ever seen somebody pick up a bowling ball and they drop it right away and they're like, oh, that was buttery. Well, it wasn't fucking butter, I know that. That was sweat from someone that's been dead for over 80 years. And then people are like, can you believe there was a pandemic? It's like, I can't believe there hasn't been one the whole time. Nobody in China ate a bat. Somebody in Florida had a 7-10 split, and they were like, That's probably what happened. Nobody knows for sure, but that's what I think. And then what's the argument when we go bowling? People are like, I can't go bowling. The shoes are disgusting. They spray the shoes. Nobody has sprayed a finger hole in a bowling ball, not one time, not ever. And then what do we do right when we're done bowling? I'll just have some fries. And then some men have the audacity to go, I don't eat ass. And it's like, yeah, you do. I just watched you eat a basket of ass. I'm gonna take a drink. Getting wooed for drinking water, cool. Oh my God, did you see how he did that? The technique. This special is gonna be called Mixed Reviews, and you might think, how come? Well, you've been here, you get it. Not every joke is for every person anymore, at the same time, especially because we broke up as a country. Right? I could stand up here and I go, these dickheads on the left, and 50% of Americans would laugh. Or I go, these dickheads on the right, and 50% of Americans would laugh. And so, that's what I've decided to do. I'm gonna make fun of all of us, and I'm gonna take your laughter in increments. I can already see some of you are nervous, and that's okay. It's gonna be very fun. And if this is the hour that brings my career to a screeching halt, well, I'm rich. And I'm getting old, so it's time. When I was growing up, you could stand in the middle of the political spectrum, and you could see the far right, and you could see the far left, because they weren't that far away from the middle. Now, the far left is cascading over the horizon of the earth, and the far right is falling off the cliff that they think is there because the world is flat. And you can't even see them. You can hear them bickering back and forth once in a while, but you can't see them. And I like to know what my fellow citizens are up to. So sometimes I'll get crazy and be like, I'm gonna go way over there and see what they're doing. And so I cross the line and I go, oh, this is gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I go all the way to the right and I put my ear to the wall, and you can hear somebody go, well, how come black people can dye their hair blonde if white people can't paint their face? Okay, all right, okay. So I come all the way back here, and I regroup, because that's crazy shit. I catch my breath, and then I go, okay, I better, just to keep it fair, I gotta know what's happening. I go all the way over as far as I can to the left. I put my ear on the wall, and you can hear somebody go, has anyone even asked the grass if it's okay to mow it? It is so exhausting. We should be able to grab one from each side and just go, shut the fuck up. It's crazy. America leads the league in mass shooters, and we can't find one that can just trim the edges. Yeah, all right. Mixed reviews it is. That was awesome. Some of you shut down so quickly. By the way, if that's how you deal with social issues by coming to comedy and not laughing, you can grab your cape on the way out because you're a fucking hero. Way to go. Change is right around the corner because of you. You nerds. Well, come on, if we're gonna have to put up with mass shooters, let's at least put them to good use. Okay, listen, that's fine. Some of you can sit there while I'm up here solving problems and creating jobs, or whatever, however we need to do it. That's what I'm gonna do, up here. I've been thinking, how are we gonna get people to come in from the far edges just to listen, just for a second, to one rational conversation? And I don't think we are. Lines have been drawn, heels are dug in. I thought maybe we could physically pull them in and just hold them while they listened, but that would be not fair, because it'd be easier to pull people in from the far left. I'm not mocking them, I'm just saying it would. You get over there, you're like, all right, I'll take this guy. Oh my God, he's on a unicycle. Look. Oh, mine has a wheel, it's like luggage. It's so easy. Right? Be a lot easier. Be a lot harder to pull people in from the far right, because you get over there, you can't find anybody, everybody's wearing camo and shit. You're like, I just heard them doing math incorrectly. What is happening? Why does this bush have tits? This is so dumb. Nothing makes sense. I saw you in your camo. I fucking saw you, which is crazy, in your camo. It's not working. You're in the city now. I'm just kidding. I saw you look down at your shirt. As soon as I said camo, I peeked over my shoulder and you were like, God damn it. Oh, that's awesome. I tell you what, fucking cause some damage in the city and then get out to the woods. You're fine. I also thought this would be just such a fantastic rule to get people to kind of move in a little bit. If you do something historically very conservative, it would be fun if you had to do something a little liberal to balance it out. Vice versa, same on the other side. If you do something historically really liberal, it would be fun if you had to do something a little conservative to balance it out. Like if you go to a gun range 5 days in a row for 12 hours each day and you don't work there, I think it would be entertaining if on the 5th day you had to walk in and go, hey, bitches, who wants brunch? Very entertaining to me. Same on the other side. Before you buy a chameleon for a pet or whatever, you should have to look a woman right in her eyes and go, you should smile more, sweetheart. You're a lot prettier when you smile. Extra points if she works for you. And you've conveniently eliminated your HR department. I can see some of you losing it. Listen, here's the thing. Obviously, we can't do that. What kind of country would we be living in if we let a man make a rule that fucked over a woman? I mean... I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you ever need an abortion, judging by some of your reactions, not the turn you thought we were taking, but if you ever need an abortion and one is not available to you, my son's bidet has a setting that shoots water into human assholes. And the vagina's not even sealed. I'm not saying it's gonna be your first option, but in an emergency, throw your foot up on the seat and give her a spin. I don't know. The itsy bitsy fetus went up the water spout. Out came the bidet and washed the fetus out. Flush goes the toilet and you turn off the bidet. And the itsy bitsy fetus doesn't ruin anyone's day. Man, I am getting stared at by some people. And let me just be clear about something. Nobody makes you have an abortion, right? They just make you have a baby. That's where it gets confusing. I honestly think this. If we stop talking about the way far left and the way far right, and we talk about the people you can see from the middle, I don't think we're as different as the news organizations want us to think. I think we have a lot more in common. Let me tell you why I think that. I think we say things differently, but we kind of mean similar things. You have people on the left that will go, well, I just want to put some positive energy out into the universe. And you have people on the right that will go, thoughts and prayers. That is just all of us looking up going, help! The same shit. Both sides love three-word phrases. We know that. The left loves three-word phrases. Defund the police, less guns now, save the turtles. And the far left holds all of those in the same regard. And that is crazy to me. You can't do that. That is not how you fix shit. You bring one thing, check it off the list. You can't bring all your stuff and go, can you help me fix all my stuff at the same time? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna tell you something, I've never been black, I don't know what that experience is like, but if I ever heard Black Lives Matter, save the turtles, I would lose my fucking mind. Let me make it personal to me. Chad's life matters, save the turtles. I'd be like, me fucking first. Turtles? You're 150 and you haven't figured out how to swim around garbage yet? If you bite a straw, spit it out, dumb bitch. Please. The right loves three-word phrases. Build the wall, lock her up, eat her in. They love that shit. My pillow guy. There's another one. There are so many. Here's what's awesome. I've kind of decided what line you guys are on by what you've been laughing at tonight, and I can see you. And you can always tell during that bit, conservatives laugh harder at even themselves. It's interesting to me because, listen, I told you I'm on the left. Liberals hear a joke and they go, I'm gonna need some more information before I laugh at that in public. And that's whatever, do your thing. But conservatives laugh at everything without even turning around to see if it's okay first. You don't have to turn around when God has your back. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know a lot, but I do know when Jesus is your co-pilot, you let her rip. Let her rip. Let her rip. That's 3. Both sides are confusing, right? I live in northern Minnesota. I drink a lot of beer and a lot of garages in the wintertime. And by that description, you can tell I'm not always hanging out with the libtards. There are conservatives in the garage, and they will always do that thing where they equate race to the rainbow. Like, I don't care if you're red, brown, green, purple, gold, or green. As long as you work hard. And I always go, bitch, your parents helped you pay for college. Shut up. That's confusing to me. It's confusing on the left. LGBTQIA 2S+. I want to be very clear. I told you, I care about people. I think everyone should have the same right to the pursuit of happiness than everybody else. All I'm saying is that's a lot of stuff to remember in a row. Don't make me say 9 things and then a plus. That is what a plus is for. Crime and punishment doesn't end with et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that would be ridiculous. LGBTQIA2S+ sounds like a cheat code for Mortal Kombat. Right? You just put that into your controller, finish him! Fireball! Both sides have opinions about race. We've known that from the beginning, right? I have a lot of friends from a lot of different places. Sometimes I'll go to a party, and I'll be like, oh yeah, man, there were Asian dudes there, black dudes there, white dudes there. And then people on the left will go, how come black people weren't first on that list? And people on the right will go, how come white people weren't first on that list? And Asians are like, we're just gonna be over here if you need us. We're gonna be in the corner still running everything while you guys argue about ridiculous shit. I'll tell you why that's my list. It's because it's alphabetical. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna get in trouble. Asian, black, white. Now, there's a lot of people, a lot of groups of people between black and white alphabetically, right? Indian, I don't know, Middle Eastern, Pacific Islander. We could be here until the sun comes up. with all the groups. And I do know, because I'm white, that white people do not like being at the back of any line. So we were behind all these people at W like, what is going on up there? I need a taller truck so I can see over everybody. I can't even see what's going on in the middle. You know what? Grab your shit. We're Caucasian now. And we walked all the way. We walked from W all the way past everybody, just like, what's up, dude? All the way to C. And then black people saw us coming. They were like, we're African American now. And they moved over one. They moved one over. We need one buffer, one letter buffer. Both sides are liars, because America's a lying country. I love America, don't get me wrong, but we started off lying. I cannot tell a lie, I chopped down the cherry tree. That story's made up to sell books about George Washington. Isn't that crazy? The story we tell our children to get them not to lie is a lie. That is fascinating to me. I will also bet you all the money I have that the first Thanksgiving isn't even close to how we do it now. Look at some of you. So nervous to do anything. You're not even moving. What if there's a Native American behind me? Well, then fucking turn around and be like, right? He's right, right? That's crazy. We send t-shirts of losing teams to third world countries. We are such dicks. There is a kid in a village that thinks the Buffalo Bills were a dynasty in the 90s. That is so messed up. There's a kid somewhere else with a t-shirt on with the crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger going, we did it! Why would you send a t-shirt to a third world country? It gets there and the kid is like, why is this back? I made this. I am Inspector 43. That's my sticker. Can you stop sending this around the world and use that money to feed my family, please? You're back. All right. And you're like, I don't appreciate that, so watch this. Thank you guys so much. There won't be any starving people tomorrow morning. You did it. Here's what's going to happen. The far left is going to go so far left, they're going to start to bend back towards the middle. And the far right is going to go so far right, they're going to start to bend back towards the middle. Then they're going to hit each other and collide and intermingle, and we're not going to know who's who, like the Sneetches in the Dr. Seuss book. And then one day you're going to hear this. Where were you? Hunting. What'd you get? A deer. What kind? It identifies as a deer. It's going to be a good day for America. Catch me out on my porch in my rainbow thong, just like, USA, we are back! I'm telling you, I know we're closer than you think to coming back together. I saw it on an airplane. It was awesome. I fly a lot, so I get upgraded a lot. And I was in first class one time on a flight from San Jose to Sacramento. And that's not right. That would be the dumbest fucking flight you could ever take. Like, how far is the drive? Half hour. Rent a plane, motherfucker. What is this shit? What am I, Lewis and Clark all of a sudden? It was from Salt Lake City to San Jose. That was the flight. Jesus Christ. Could you even imagine going anywhere with me? It's just like, where are you going? I got a lot of miles, dude. I'm flying it. Steal a plane if I have to, doesn't matter. So I'm on this flight. It doesn't fucking matter where it's going or where it originated. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. This has nothing to do with anything. And I'm like, hold on, let me check the flight log. I'll be right back. I mean, what is happening? So I'm on this flight. I have a first class ticket. I walk on the plane. There's two men standing in the aisle, and they're talking about something. I go, what are you guys doing? And they go, well, we're trying to figure out if we can switch the seating chart up here so we can sit next to our wives. And I was like, okay. So I sat in my seat. And then this one guy, he was sitting all by himself. He goes, I'll move wherever you need me to, if that helps. And it did. So then they got to sit next to their wives on this flight. And then the guy came back, and he sat right across the aisle from me, and there was an empty seat next to him. And I said, whoever sits there, I'm gonna tell that dude that's my wife, and I wanna sit next to her on the flight and see if he'll switch. But a woman did not get on the plane. A gigantic man did. A gigantic man where he had to bend down to get on and then stay bent all the way to his seat. He was so huge. He had on cowboy boots. He had on jeans that have little road maps on the back pocket. You've seen them. He had on a backpack that said Toby Keith and Friends 14th annual golf outing. And he had a hat that was bent so severely in front that it was touching. It was a perfect circle. Like he pulled it down to see further when he was hunting. Like he's like, hold on. Oh yeah, that identifies as a deer right there. And he's walking back, and I go, no way. And then he goes, that's my seat. And the guy gets up, I go, hey man, you're not gonna believe this. That's my husband. And I'd love to sit next to him during this flight. And the guy turns around and he goes, what? And I was like, oh, he wasn't even on the flight the whole time. How would he have known any of these jokes? I was gonna get on his ass about it. I was gonna be like, have a sense of humor, man. And I was like, how would he know? So I was gonna apologize, go, hey, sorry about that. And then I was gonna explain the rest of what had happened. And he goes, oh, you're sorry? Because I told you out in the gate, we don't have to sit next to each other on the plane. We're gonna be on vacation together for 2 weeks. Oh my God, I was like, what is this? Whose airline is it anyway? This is incredible. But then I wanted to get in on the action. So I go, well, every time your mom calls, she says I'm not romantic enough, so I thought we could hold hands on the way to vacation. Excuse me. And then he smirked and gave me like a little, all right. And I thought we were done. We weren't. Because then he said, at least my mom calls. Your mom hasn't talked to me or the kids for over 2 years. Do you understand what just happened? He gave us a family. We are closer than you think, you guys. You guys were fucking fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Flood the rink.